back to my blog. Today I am joining in the YouTube hop on the Tracy Reed design team, and we're using Haunting Tracy's new digital collection for October, which is full of lovely icons for Halloween and also just for autumnally bits and pieces as well, but it is quite heavily Halloween. However, I'm going to be using this kit for creating my layout for my walking journal with my daughter. I've printed, as you see, I've got some of the stuff here ready. Printed out 2 of the pattern papers, so I'm not going very Halloweeny for this because it's about my walking. As you can see, there's August's and there's September's. I've just pinched the photo there so I can make this one. So you'll see how you can use this collection even if you're not doing anything Halloweeny, but as you will see from other people, it is absolutely perfect for doing Halloween layouts as well. If you fancy looking at all the other videos, I've listed them down below. We'll also be sharing our finished items over on Instagram, and it'll also be on Tracy's blog. And on Tracy's blog you can also find the link to purchase this wonderful kit. So I will get going. I'll probably speed up in a moment. I'm going to use Tracy's sketch from a long time ago, which I will show you here. And as you will see, there is a sort of cluster here and a cluster here, and then some bits of paper. So I've actually got some offcuts, or a couple of bits of, that's an offcut from a previous layout. And then I've printed out some 3x4 cards that I want to use. I have got, I've just printed out some small bits of paper actually from the solids colours, so I've got those to use as strips. I've got a few embellishments here. This is a circle I cut out that I didn't use for another layout, and then I'm going to use this lot over here. And I want to use that tree because we always take a photograph beneath a particular tree in the park, so I thought that would be quite good. I thought I'd use that Happy Haunting and Boo, which I can still use those just because it's Halloween week or Halloween month. And then I've mainly picked out the florals. I love this floral with the spider's web, and I'm concentrating on the pinks, the purples and the greens for this layout. So without any further ado, I shall get going and get this layout created. So the first thing I decided to do was to create the page on the right hand side. So these papers are from the Traveller's Notebook signatures, and I'd used the same one on both sides, and then printed off, as I say, a couple of the 3x4 cards and some of the 3x4 patterned pattern cards as well. I also reduced down the size of the 3x4 October card just to make it fit nicely onto my page, and then back that on some of the pink solid paper. My daughter and I are doing really well with our walks. We've both had a couple of, well, I've had about 3 or 4 medals I think I've received so far this year. She's only received 2, I think, because she decided to do the challenge that she's doing is Lord of the Rings, so she's got miles and miles and miles to walk before she gets a medal. You can choose the shorter or the longer distance on her challenges, and she has chosen the shorter distance, but even so it's a long walk, whereas I've chosen some of the shorter routes to do. At the moment I'm doing the Ring of Kerry, so it's just over 100 miles, which I'm doing obviously walking around our park, walking down to town and back. When we go on holiday I'll put my Fitbit on and count those as walks as well, which is all good fun. My medals are just sitting in a drawer, but Penny's medals she's bought a display cabinet for, or a display unit for them, and put it up on the side of her wardrobe. And I think what I'm going to do is probably take a photograph of the medals, all of the medals that we've done, and do a spread about those as well to pop into this book, because I think that would be quite nice. Anyway, back to the spread here, and as you can see I've made my cluster of the 3x4 cards on that right hand side and used one of the word strips that says Spooktacular, and a little label with the bats on and a little circular element as well. And then I popped the couple of strips of paper up at the top which it was in the sketch. So over on the left hand side now, the same patterned paper, I wanted it to go across the whole spread. And then this is where I'm going to have my photo. I've just pinched a photo from the previous page, which isn't actually the photo I'll be using for September either. It's just a photo I'm using as a placement photo, just so that I can see where I want everything to go. So I'll have the photo double matted there. And then I decided at the bottom, well, on the sketch, there is a block of paper underneath the photo, and I had this little bit of the black left, and so I decided I'd use that, but then I wasn't quite sure how to use it, so I grabbed the label that I want to use to write the mileage. The number of miles. It's late here and I'm doing the recording and my mind's not working properly. The number of miles, or kilometres, because Penny does hers in kilometres. A real modern girl she is over here. And I'll also probably pop some journaling on the bottom, because there are 2 empty lines at the bottom of that, and just tuck that in underneath the photograph. I then grabbed that black piece again and decided how I was going to pop that. This little tag piece I was going to use, and you'll see me pop it around the page in various different places on both sides. I leave it there for a while. I don't actually end up using it in the end, and actually looking now where I was trying it out, I did like it behind that other tag, but I didn't use it, so never mind. But I did remember to grab the tree and tuck that just underneath the photograph there. So what this year Penny and I decided to do was to take a photograph of ourselves standing in front of our favourite tree in the park at the end of every month, and that's the photo that I then put into this challenge journal. So we've been able to see the tree, obviously from the winter when there were no leaves on it, and then the next month there were some little buds, green buds, and then the blossom, and going through to full blossom, and then all the leaves, and then hopefully we'll see the leaves changing colour over the autumn. So I think it's been quite a nice way to document our walks with the photos. We do actually take a photo every day that we go out for our walk, a selfie. My husband's been coming with us recently as well, so there's been photos of the 3 of us, which has been a really nice record of the year to look back on. So back to the layout again, and I brought back the sketch just to show you, and just to the, on the right hand side to the left of that paper strip at the top, Traci did have some bits of paper there which I think were for journaling, but I decided to leave those out because my journaling's over on the left hand side. But I did decide that I wanted the strip that was at the bottom of that page just to balance that out. So I grabbed a piece of the pink that I had left and cut that into a banner shape and stuck that down, and then echoed that over on the left hand side as well. So on the left hand side you've got that black and pink strips of paper like you have on the right hand side. I then grabbed the flowers, and this I've sped up super fast because I tried flowers and I tried stars and I pumpkins, and I popped things on the page and I took them off the page, and this is the longest part of the whole process for me, was trying to decide which flowers to use, because in the end I decided it was definitely going to be the flowers and not the stars. So as I say, I super sped this up to decide. I quite like those pumpkins there, but I do take them away in the end, and I wanted to use one of these cluster embellishments that's got the spider's web on as well, but it was a bit too big up on the top right, and so I created my own little cluster up there with the flowers and leaves, and then tucked in some more leaves, and then decided instead of the pumpkins round that boo to use one of those flower clusters there, which I really like how that looked in the end. So I wanted a couple of flowers underneath the tree here, and I just couldn't get anything that was looking right. And then this flower, which is like a half flower, you'll see in a moment, I actually cut that down and used just the half flower tucked behind the tree, and I really like how that looked. Now, I said I didn't use the stars. I did use some stars in the end, just as sort of little accents, as you'll see round on the right hand page, round that spooktacular area. And I used the green spotty paper, which is what I've got on the back cluster there. So now you can see I've popped that flower behind the tree and a couple of the black leaves there, and just sticking down that piece there. And then I decided I wanted a bit more of the green over on the left hand side, some more green stars, and I had no more cut out with my silhouette, so I just grabbed some of the green spotty paper and a star punch and punched them out myself, just to bring that green over onto the left hand side. So we're getting very close to finishing now. And as you can see, I'm just sticking down these stars, and then I will move on to the next part. So just trimming off the bits that's overhanging the edge of the page there, and I am just about finished. So I will go back on to normal speed for you now. So there we are, my layout finished. I will probably put a little bit of journaling just in here. I do tend to keep everything flat because it's a traveller's notebook. That will obviously be stuck down properly when I've got the proper photo. So yeah, I've used a Halloween kit for a not particularly very Halloween layout here. So as I say, this is YouTube Hop, and if you'd like to watch all the other videos, please go to the link below. Thank you for watching my video today. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a like and a subscribe if you don't already subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.